Whoever was drawing this panel must have thought they were cooking on this page. He attempted to stop her. Seriously, I'm gonna have to delete these files off my computer.
Decimates a Nelly in an instant.
When he was a little diddler, his parents died around the time he graduated high school. Ever since then, it was just him and his sister living together. Well, that took a quick turn. And Mouth feeds him the food, like it wasn't bad enough already. Wait. Guys, don't you dare click off. We're not done here. We're just getting started.
What?
I said we're just getting started.
Oh, hell no!
Can we just get this over with, please? We get a whole panel of them slurping. I swear whoever was drawing this panel must have thought they were cooking on this page. Anyway, after all that, no words can describe my disgust. He spits it back out, rightfully so. Now, what do you think would be a worthy punishment? Oh, Lord have mercy. She's the manager of the club that her brother is in. She recalls the exact moment in time she looked at him and proceeded to cut off her fingers. And since that apparently wasn't enough, she thought since she looked at him, she may as well. He attempted to stop her, which he should have done earlier when she was about to cut the first finger off. But anyway, let's just say that did not go very well. But he couldn't move. So, she tells him if he acts like a good boy, she won't hurt his other friends. His sister somehow got horny and bathed herself in baby oil. And let's just say that she's been to a diddy party before. And for 5 years lived in this hellhole in his own home. One day, somehow, the door was left open. Freedom at last. He probably smells of balls right now. But it's better than being inside the house with that crazy woman. He thought that he had escaped, but she was waiting for him. And just like that, his best day in 5 years just ended. Down the road was her. He's really in for it this time. Let's hope tonight he won't have a room full of cum buckets. He was tired of being powerless and pushed her into the road, and Truck Kun sends her back to the lobby. And just when you think we got a happy ending, he gets yanked with her, and they die together. A god introduces herself to him. Finally, he can have some peace from that terrible life that he lived. The goddess began reading about his life. So as a result, she decided to give him a special treatment in his next life. Rich family, handsome appearance, and he'll be very talented, and he'll keep his memory, guys. However, it will be a completely different world. And if he's reincarnated with his acquaintances, he can reunite with them. But he was only worried about seeing his sister. He wanted to know whether or not the goddess met his sister, and the truth is she has. And they're going to the same world together again. And of course, he crashes out in front of the goddess. And now this dumbass made his other life even more hellish. This is almost guts-level pain. And just when he thought he'd be freed, any source of hope was taken away from him. He then refuses to be reincarnated. The goddess apologizes to him. She tells him to hide himself so she'll never find him, and the goddess will protect him. He wakes up to a girl walking closer to him, and he gains full consciousness and realizes that he's a baby. There's a girl changing him. A maid named Anelli is a member of the Lieber family. It's time for him to eat, so Anelli brings him to his mom. He gets breastfed consciously, might I add. This is his mom and dad, Kalam and Madeline. But of course, when you think things are normal, his father gets jealous that the baby gets and it took him years to achieve it. Of course, Madeline had a justifiable reaction. She tells him not to say those things in front of him, so he doesn't become a kid who flirts with women every night. He then realizes she's talking about him. She intends to raise him properly, and now he's gotten what he wished for, which was a kind and happy family. His name is Jack Lieber, and he refuses to let this family shatter like his old one. He has to take precautions from her finding him, so he has to make sure he acts as ordinary as possible. But he also has to remember that his sister is far from ordinary, so he needs a way to defend himself. His secret didn't last long. 3 weeks later, his magic powers were starting to take effect. The maid spotted him. Surprised, she ran to his mom and dad to tell them. His parents come over and are happy to see that he's able to use magic at such a young age. His father was able to use it at 4 years old. This was a rare case, but of course we know the goddess blessed him with these talents. His father explained it was thanks to his spirit that he was able to use his powers. His father wanted to perfect them for the good of the world, which went against him wanting to stand out. But of course he's thinking about using it to protect everyone from her. He tried understanding how his power worked, using one of his toys. Anelli had to go to the warehouse to get some herbs. She tells him to behave himself while she's gone. When he uses his power, any object he moves becomes ineffective. Even a knife, but things like fire can still do damage. These same principles apply when he floats. He wanted to see how long he could hold objects for, but somehow he didn't hear Calum walking into the hallway. So far, he's doing a terrible job at not standing out. They bring him to the dinner table, since it's his first birthday, while cleaning Jack's mouth. His parents tell Anelli that they're appreciative of looking after him after all this time. Madeline asks her why she doesn't go and see her parents from time to time. She explains that she doesn't find it hard to work and thinks that Jack is someone who is very precious to her. The next day, Anneli takes Jack on a walk. She tells him that tomorrow she'll spend time with her family, since it's been a long time since she's seen them. Walking into the forest, she says from now on, they'll always be together. He realized it's the song his sister used to hum from his world. And he gets flashbacks of that specific moment. His PTSD started kicking in after hearing it again. And then he realizes this is a different path than the one they usually walk on. And if you've been paying attention so far, you will realize how unbelievably cooked he is. And finally, he realizes what's going on. Now that he's made it obvious she found him after 15 years, as female Diddy looks into his soul, and he's trembling below her. She thanks him for being surprised. She explains that it's because of a certain face that he makes, and tries to baby him. She recalled all the time they spent together, or the baby she was trying for 5 years, or the baby names she filled out in 3 notebooks for what she wanted them to be called. Above all, she doesn't want to be alone. Seriously, what on earth is this thing? Not even the goddess could protect this man. This time, how many years would it be? And for sure, since they have magic powers, it will be way worse. He screams and uses his power to get away from her. Seriously, how do I narrate this at this point? Jack takes a second to regain his composure, and he's scared of what he should do at this moment, since he didn't have enough time to prepare for her. Even if he flees to the mansion, she'll kill everyone. And he makes his heroic stand to fight against the oil demon herself. He refuses to lose against her. She goes around looking for him. Meanwhile, he's strategizing what to do. He was thinking of throwing her high into the sky and killing her that way. She sets all the trees on fire to try and get him out of it. She knew that because of the smoke he couldn't escape to the sky, and if he continues to hide, she'll burn down the mansion. He makes an attempt to get some distance from her, and she got pissed off. Now he's done it.
Bye, bitch!
He attempted to throw a boulder behind her, but she leaped straight towards him. Using his power, he sends her down to the ground. He's trying to figure out why the rock suddenly just stopped. Since people can only use one spiritual art, hers should only be flames. It takes him a moment to realize that he's stuck in her hair, and she says they're bound by the bonds of destiny.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
He works out that her hair is like a match that she uses to ignite things from far away. After grabbing him, she cut the hair that she tied him up with. He used that air to light her on fire, whilst avoiding all damage being held by her. Whilst she burns, she dies, right? She blew up her hand and used an explosion to propel her body away. She grabs him and was only worried about her appearance. Seriously, I'm gonna have to delete these files off my computer after I post this video. Now she has him once again, the devil herself. While going through his inner monologue, some other unholy pages which I cannot show appear and will probably traumatize you. During this, he feels the exact same way he did in his previous world, powerless, even though he reincarnated.
Suddenly, his inner power awakened, and with the overwhelming power of the spiritual arts flowing through his body, decimates Anneli in an instant. Or so he thought. She arose from the rubble and grabbed him out of the sky.
He pushed away from her midair, and he made it to the edge of a cliff. There, she was standing in front of him. Luckily, he landed here just to reduce her firepower, and sends a boulder flying towards her. She spat at the boulder and destroyed it, and this crazy demon lady now has him again. The waterfall suddenly stopped. While she was busy yapping, he was taking away the weight of the waterfall. He makes her weightless and sends her up into the water. He knows she's still his sister, so he gives her a countdown, and gives her 3 seconds to convince him to forgive her, and she starts crying. Anneli explains how much she loved him, and because she loved him so much, she didn't care about how he felt and killed people that didn't even know why they were killed, and also getting diddied in the process. He sends her down to the ground at an incredible force, ultimately causing her downfall. Get it? Because and her body looked similar to the way a dead fly looks. The family found him crying in the forest. We get to a theater room and sorry, what's going on here? It took her 20 years to talk to him, and now she's planning on what to do next. This man literally cannot catch a break.